Hello beautiful people, Carl here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and the Swedish masters of melancholic metal, Katatonia. And they will release their new album, Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State, on June 6, 2025 via Napalm Records. It is quite something to hear a band consistently reinvent themselves, but it is even more impressive when a band in question is so well known for a specific style of music. Folks, Katatonia are back, and back with something more experimental, and with that more challenging. Yet alongside that is something more accessible too, especially as far as traditional metal fans and old school Katatonia fans go. It turns out there's a little something for everyone here. Take my heart out the way. I can't wait to lose you. So let's talk about the most notable thing about this record first. It is a heavier Katatonia than we've had in recent times, and this seems to have come with the arrival of two new guitarists. This is an album with riffs, big riffs that give the album an overall thicker sound, but rest assured, it's also an album with tons of melody too. As melancholic as ever, but as everyone knows, it is the way in which Katatonia twists these ideas that leaves the mark. Expect misery, beautiful misery, but also expect the unexpected too. Setting the experimental bar high with the dramatic thrice, Jonas's vocals are as stunning as always. Yet it is the progressive curves, the punchier guitars, and the burgeoning cinematic stylishness that ensures this opening track has staying power. Whereas the Liquid Eye is covered in syrupy gloom that feels so very Katatonia, but with bursts of rockier pace that creates vibrant shades. How about Wind of No Change though? Katatonia casting a warm eye over their dark and devilish past to offer up something with substance. It might be an odd comparison to make, but hear me out. This track is like a heavier ghost track, but I think sometimes that might be more because of the way Jonas croons the words Hail Satan. It is very cool though. But you know what else is cool? Exceptional consistency. Even when there's nothing revolutionary going on, and that is what Lilac offers. A gargantuan example of melancholic progressive power coming from a place of anguish, matched only by the richness of temporal and the emotional heft of departure trails. It is like having a cool breeze wash over you. A storm is on the horizon and the clouds are rolling in. But in this moment, there's a freshness that takes the breath away and leaves you feeling so very comforted. Which isn't really a word that comes to mind with Katatonia, but that's what they offer in this 13th album. Although your personal mileage may vary in this regard depending on your proclivity for dramatic melancholy with metallized edges. Still, it is hard to believe that everyone who hears it won't find themselves enthralled by the likes of Warden and its peppier moments, or the proggy excitability of The Light Which I Bleed, a track with a delightfully doomy riff, and the haunting ambient effort that is Efter Solen, which is sung in Jonas's native language. Very, very cool. Finally, it is In the Event Of, and it is a suitably epic sounding track filled with all manner of traditional Katatonia soundscapes, errant melodies, blooming melancholy and dense heaviness. The encapsulation of who this band is, stronger than ever and still able to surprise. I enjoyed it more than I thought it would. I don't always love Katatonia. I'm in and out with them for the most part, but this album had me captivated for the most part. There's a couple of tracks that aren't necessarily going to live long in their memory and certainly maybe don't hold up compared to their back catalogue, but alongside that are some genuinely thrilling, fresh new ideas while having that overall Katatonia vibe. And you know, if you know this band, you know what I mean by that. But bear in mind, this is a heavier sound. There's more riffs. That's super exciting, a kind of a fresh direction for them to be heading in while still sounding so very much like themselves. It is Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State. June 6, 2025 via Napalm Records. I want to know what you think of this one. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.